So this is leaked. The WNBA hasn't officially announced who the Rookie of the Year is my understanding, but it was nabbed. I think The Atlantic broke it. I'll correct myself if my team tells me I'm wrong. In any event, she's obviously an incredible star. She's totally revitalized interest. Well, I mean, vitalized interest in the WNBA in a way it never was before. And yet, since she's joined the league as a rookie, she's been abused. She's been abused over and over again by these other players. And reportedly, it's a race thing that many black women inside the WNBA are resentful that this white woman came in and is getting all this attention. Nobody disputes that she's an amazing basketball player, but still they seem resentful and angry toward her. And it's resulted in physical alterations on the court that don't get called as fouls, that the girls then deny were intentional. And Caitlin Clark always takes the high road. She never, points the finger, but it happened again, where she was playing, hold on, because my audience knows I don't know anything about sports. I only know when it crosses into the news lane. Her team was playing the Connecticut Suns, and the player, Dejanay Carrington, tried to get the ball from Caitlin, and at the end, Caitlin plays for the Indiana Fever. At the end, it seems pretty obvious to me, intentionally scratches Caitlin's eye with her long fingernails. She denies it was intentional, but watch, there it is. Hold on. So she goes for the ball, and then look, she points her hand down after the play, after the ball is past this player from the Suns. And it seems very clear she bends her fingers into Caitlin's eyes. There it is. She could pull her hand away. She didn't. And Caitlin had a black eye, and it was not called as a foul. And then she was seen celebrating on the sideline and laughing with a teammate. All right, so here's the other piece before I get to you guys. USA Today columnist Christine Brennan, who covers all sorts of sports, got a moment with this Connecticut Sun player, Dejanay Carrington, and asked her about it because that's what you do as a reporter. Watch this.
Dejanay, did you, when you went and kind of swatted at Caitlin, did you intend to hit her in the eye? And if so, could you just, or if not, either way, could you talk about what happened on that play?
I don't even know why I would intend to hit anybody in the eye. That doesn't even make sense to me. But no, I didn't. I didn't know I hit her, actually. I was trying to make a play on the ball, and I guess I followed through and I hit her. So obviously it's never intentional. That's not even like the type of player that I am. So yeah.
Did you and Marina kind of laugh about it afterwards? It looked like there was later on in the game they caught you guys laughing about it.
No, I just told you I didn't even know I hit her. So I can't laugh about something I didn't know happened. With the increase.
Okay. Last thing I'm going to say is all of that was a lie, in my opinion. Phil Houston, spy the lie guy, would say all of that. She had all the telltale signs of lying. If you asked me, did you hit her intentionally? I'd say no. Nope, I didn't. She went right into convincing behavior. I don't even know why I would intend to hit anybody in the eye. That's what a bank robber says. A bank robber says, I'm an honest person. Why would I ever rob a bank? I have money. I have a job. A truth teller says, no, I didn't rob the bank. No. All of this convincing behavior and not a no and denial. This is obviously a liar, and I don't know this person, but as an outside person, I can. Anyway, now you guys, the WNBA is on the offense against the reporter, saying she's racist, suggesting she's racist, she doesn't deserve her credentials, and that she was trying to fuel racist, homophobic, because the girl who did the hitting, the Connecticut State player, Dejanay, is a lesbian, racist, homophobic, and misogynistic vitriol on social media. Okay, lay it on me, Blain, Jake, and David. What do you make of it?
Well, first off, Megyn, thanks for having us. I mean, there's, so much to unpack here, but really it comes down to one main thing to me. That looked intentional, right? Typically when somebody does get hit in the face or you're trying to block something, you don't put your fingers down like that. Your hand swipes and maybe your hand makes contact with their face. We see this in basketball all the time. It's intentional foul. Somebody tries to block somebody shooting a layup and they hit them in the back of the head or on the face. And that ends up being a flagrant 1 or flagrant 2, depending on how they call it. But I don't have as much of a problem as with the intentional act, because we've been watching this all year in the WNBA. It's the fact that the reporter is not allowed to ask that question, just in general, even if this was the first time. But after a series of events where we've watched all season long and into the postseason, Caitlin Clark get abused and taken out. I mean, even during timeouts, people are intentionally walking into her, bumping into her, doing things mid-play and after the play. And if you don't know, Christine Brennan's so woke, I don't know how she ever sleeps. So this isn't exactly somebody
She's
coming
so
from the Daily Wire or Fox News. So the fact that they're attacking her just shows you the WNBA continues to drop the ball on this whole issue. They got given the greatest gift of all time, this rivalry between Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark. And you use the word vitalize because you're right. You can't revitalize something that was never vitalized, but the WNBA has totally failed, whether it's not putting her on the Olympic team, not using her in promotions, being hesitant to put her at the forefront of the league. I think the WNBA has missed a huge opportunity, and the only reason, Megyn, that we're talking about it and you're talking about the WNBA is because of Caitlin Clark.
Exactly right. Just to put some meat on those bones, via Forbes, okay, they have the highest audience they've seen in 24 seasons on the WNBA games. Televised games with Caitlin Clark's Indiana Fever averaged 1.18 million viewers compared to 394,000 for all other games. There were a record 22 games that averaged over 1 million viewers, 19 of which involved Caitlin. So, I mean, you'd think they'd be saying thank you. They're not saying thank you, Blain.
No, they're not, which is surprising to me. We have to really see what the WNBA organization is about and who they are and what they want to do. To me, this is controlling free speech. This is what it is. You can get up there, whether you're Caitlin Clark or whoever you want to be, and pander to whatever they want you to say, but I promise you, it will never be good enough. And one way to control culture, right, is through sports and controlling speech. So they will push this and kick this down the road as long as they have to until they can control what is said there from reporters, what is said on X, from Twitter, from Elon Musk, until they can control every little thing. This kind of reminds me of Eminem when he got into the rap game. Right? You can talk all you want, you can do this, but sooner or later you have to respect somebody's game. And the way Caitlin Clark plays basketball has to be respected. And sooner or later, the dam is going to break. In the WNBA, what matters more, money or your feelings? Because we can look around the league and see the same thing. Luka Doncic dominating the NBA. Say what you want, but they respect him. There's no respect to Caitlin Clark, and it is blowing my mind. And sooner or later, it's going to cost the WNBA everything.
David, the executive director for the WNBA Players Association, a woman named Terry Carmichael Jackson, who is hardcore woke, very big into the racial justice stuff, puts out this ridiculous statement. To unprofessional members of the media like Christine Brennan, you are not fooling anyone. That so-called interview in the name of journalism was a blatant attempt to bait a professional athlete into participating in a narrative that is false and designed to fuel racist, homophobic, and misogynistic vitriol on social media. You cannot hide behind your tenure. What? That doesn't make sense. Instead of demonstrating the cornerstones of journalism ethics like integrity, objectivity, and a fundamental commitment to truth, you've chosen to be indecent and downright insincere. She asked a question trying to get at the truth. You've abused your privileges. You do not deserve the credentials issued to you, and you certainly are not entitled to any interviews with members of this union or any other athlete in sport. Those credentials mean you can ask anything, but they also mean you know the difference between what you should and should not. We see you. USA Today Sports should explain why a reporter with clear bias and ulterior motives was assigned to cover the league. USA Today, to its credit, standing behind its journalist, Christine Brennan, who also is as woke as they come, an open Trump hater, and has shown her politics many times. There's some deliciousness, I mean, David, in seeing her on the wrong end of the woke stick. But that statement from the WNBA is absurd.
Absolutely absurd, ludicrous even. And the line that sticks out to me is to say to even ask that question is an example of racist and homophobic and misogynistic language. Now, Megyn Kelly, you tell me how asking that question is an example of homophobia, because I would love to know. But nothing we're talking about is new. We've been watching this all summer long. I don't know how many different ways an organization needs to explain to an individual that they are not welcome. First off, we saw Caitlin Clark not make the Olympic team, and the reason given was well, she's just not one of the best players in the WNBA yet. Okay, fine. But then she makes the playoffs, lead the Fever to their first playoff game in 8 seasons, and she's not even on the promotional material for that team. So the biggest cash cow in the WNBA can't even make the WNBA's graphic to promote the team making the playoff. Now, one point I want to make here, Megyn, and I explained this to Dan Bongino, and I want to make sure to reiterate it here. What we're talking about is not just Caitlin Clark being discriminated against because she is white. That's one factor of this. But if Caitlin Clark were to embrace every factor of leftism, I mean, if she had tattoo sleeves all over her arms, if she had purple dyed hair, if she were married to a woman, if she were out campaigning for Kamala Harris, she would be accepted by the WNBA. But she's not, because I don't think this is a legitimate sports league. It appears to me to be like a political organization masquerading as a sports league.
Yes, that's how it sounds. More on the numbers. Ad Age reports the number of WNBA advertisers increased by over 60% in 2024. 2024 attendance increased by nearly 50% from the year earlier. Indiana led with an average home attendance of 17,000, a year-over-year increase of 319%. And so people are watching and interested in this league like never before, and yet Sunny Hostin, in an unusual moment of honesty, explained why they still can't stand her within the WNBA. Here she was not long ago.
If Caitlin Clark is the vehicle that will bring this sport that I have loved so much and so long to little 5-year-old girls playing in Harlem, I say yes, bravo. Yeah. I have no problem with that. I do think that there is a thing called pretty privilege. There is a thing called white privilege. There is a thing called tall privilege. And we have to acknowledge that. But I do think that she is more relatable to more people because she's white, because she's attractive. And unfortunately, there still is that stigma of against the LGBTQ plus community. 70% of the WNBA is black. A third of the players are in the LGBTQ plus community. I think that people have a problem with basketball playing women that are lesbians. Who cares? They are great athletes. Well,
you see, the people weren't going, Jake, because they were homophobic, racists. That's why the other girls resent Caitlin getting attention, because she's not black or a lesbian.
Sunny literally had a great point and should have just stopped. But you can't make that point without having to back up something to make it seem like, well, you're not going all in on, I'm all in on Caitlin Clark. Like, you can't just say the truth and then stop.
Imagine waking up one day to find out your home no longer belongs to you, that someone somewhere has stolen your property right out from under you. It sounds unthinkable, but it is a sad reality for some American homeowners and a risk for anyone that owns property. House stealing, that's what the FBI calls it. And it's a form of real estate fraud, where scammers leverage loopholes in the system to fraudulently transfer your home's title into their name. And then they take out loans against your property or even sell it behind your back. By the time you find out, the scammer's long gone, leaving you, the legitimate homeowner, to clean up the mess. But right now, triple lock protection is available through HomeTitleLock.com, offering 24/7 title monitoring, alerts, and restoration services. You can sign up today at HomeTitleLock.com and use the promo code Megyn for 30 days of protection for free and a comprehensive title scan to make sure you're not already a victim. That's promo code Megyn and HomeTitleLock.com, or just use the link below. Thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.